Now, I want to get you on this as well. Another major news story. I want to talk about what's going on in Ukraine. This from President Trump on Truth Social. He says this: a major prisoner swap was just completed between Russia and Ukraine. It will go into effect shortly. Congratulations to both sides on this negotiation. This could lead to something big. So my question is to you, what could this lead to, and how does this war end?
Well, first of all, we've been doing prison swaps for 2 years, and this is a positive step, certainly when negotiations go on. Let's hope it does lead to something. Right now, the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, is waiting for Russia to return a term sheet as a result of the last negotiations that took place, and we will see if they're willing to make any concessions. To date, they have not. And that's where we are. What is really going on here? What Putin is attempting to do, and he has never changed his aspirations, he wants to topple the government in Ukraine, take control of Ukraine, and then also move into Eastern Europe and return these countries to the Russian Empire. Some people in our country roll their eyes at that. The facts speak for themselves. We have public intelligence reports that validate what I just said. That is his intent. The strategy in negotiations is to delay as much as possible. He talks to the president about he's interested in peace just like the president. He wants to normalize relations just like the president. So there's economic benefit for both. But what actually happens? No concessions whatsoever. No movement towards a ceasefire, a temporary ceasefire. Why doesn't he go to the ceasefire? Because I think he believes he loses all the leverage. The killing stops. And he knows full well the president wants to stop the killing. If you have the ceasefire, no killing, he loses leverage. He wants maximum concessions. And if he doesn't get the maximum concessions, he wants to drag this out so that the president gets so frustrated that he leaves the negotiations. And what Putin wants is the president no longer to support Ukraine with intelligence and with weapons. Think of where the Russians are. They've tried to topple this country. They're 39 months into this war, Lisa, and they still haven't moved the lines all that much from where they began in 22. If you look at the Institute for the Study of War map, where we were in 22 and where we are now, 39 months later, Putin is taking casualties now up to 50,000, close to 50,000 a month. Last year, it was close to 40,000. So the progress in the war is completely overstated by Russia. They are having major problems themselves with this. And they certainly want the United States to stop supporting them, supporting Ukraine. That's where he's coming from.
Right. General Jack Keane, it's always an honor to see you. We appreciate your time this morning. Thank you.
Yeah, great talking to you, Lisa. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Great talking to you as well.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.